This year, I lost 45 pounds of fat in just 4 months. And in this video, I'm gonna teach you guys how to do it without tracking calories or doing cardio. What's good, guys? My name is Kosi, aka King Kosi, aka the Big G. Welcome to my channel where I break down fat loss and muscle building in the simplest ways possible to help you achieve your fitness goals. In this video, I'm gonna break down 5 things you can do to lose fat as quickly as possible without tracking calories or doing cardio. So the first thing you need to do is you need to eat more protein. In order for me to lose a lot of fat, I made a change to my diet, and this change was I started to eat a lot of protein. I made 60% of my diet protein and 40% of my diet was every other thing. This method of eating got me to lose a lot of fat very, very quickly, and it had the same effect to all of my clients. The good thing about this method of eating is that it's not entirely a keto diet. So you're not restricting carbs entirely like you would do in a keto diet. You can eat carbs in this kind of diet, but with this diet, you just increase the portions of protein that you eat compared to the portions of everything else. So basically, you eat protein with everything else. Protein is very satiating. Compared to other foods, protein makes you feel very full. So if you have a high protein diet, you're gonna be consuming less calories than somebody that has a balanced diet, because you're literally incapable of eating a lot of calories when you have a high protein diet, because you'll be so full from the little amount of food that you eat that you won't be able to eat more food. Your body also takes more energy and more calories to digest protein compared to other food groups. Your body takes about 20 to 30% energy and calories to digest protein. So when you're on a high protein diet, you're gonna be burning more calories than when you're on a balanced diet. And this is very good for fat loss because you don't necessarily have to be very careful with the amount of food that you consume. If you consider the fact that a high protein diet makes you full, so you're not gonna be eating a lot of calories in the first place when you eat a lot of protein, combined with the fact that your body takes a lot of energy to digest protein, it's almost inevitable that you're gonna be in a caloric deficit if you have a high protein diet. So this approach of eating is fantastic if you wanna lose weight fast. And it's also sustainable because you don't have to cut carbs entirely like you do in a keto diet. You can still eat normal, you can still eat regular foods, you can still eat carbs, you can still eat fats, you can still eat everything. You just eat more protein than everything else. Till today, I still eat the same way. I still have a high protein diet. This diet has helped me not only burn fat at a rapid rate, it's also helped me keep the fat away. The second thing you need to do is you need to take at least 15,000 steps each day. Walking is one of the most underrated ways to burn fat. It's a very natural movement. It's very easy to do. If you take a lot of steps each day, you don't have to do cardio because walking in itself is some form of cardio. So if you're the type that doesn't like to do any type of cardio, I strongly suggest that you try your best to increase your step count each day. Ideally, I advise people that want to do cardio to take at least 10,000 steps a day. But if you don't want to do any cardio, then I would strongly advise that you take at least 15,000 steps each day. If you force yourself to take at least 15,000 steps each day, combined with the high protein diet, you're literally going to be melting fat away. Walking is the most natural thing you could do to burn fat, and it's very sustainable because your body doesn't get a lot of wear and tear when you're walking. If you're running every day or you're sprinting, you might start to suffer some pain on your body. But if you're walking a lot every day, it's very unlikely that you start to feel wear and tear on your body. So it's very sustainable. You can do this every day. You can take 15,000 steps every day and not feel very worn out. There's many ways you can plan your day in order to take more steps than usual. If you want to go somewhere that's a walking distance, you don't have to drive there. You can just walk there. If you have to drive there, you can park somewhere that's at least 20 or 10 minutes farther than the place that you're going to, so you can have at least some distance to walk to your destination. When you're working out in the gym, instead of sitting down and just being on your phone in between your sets, you can stand up and pace around and take some steps. If you're the type that works from home, you can get a walking pad and do your work whilst you're walking. These are ways that you can structure your day to take more steps than usual. Fat literally melts off of you when you take 15,000 steps every day. There's a reason most people that live in major cities like New York, London, these types of cities where people walk more as opposed to cities like Texas and Florida where people drive more. There's a reason why people that live in more commutable cities are less obese than people that live in cities where they have to drive. So if you live in one of these cities that I mentioned earlier, like London, New York, where the transport system is good and you can take more steps, then utilize that, take more steps, take advantage of it. But if you don't live in these kind of cities, then you need to set your day up for you to take more steps by doing the things that I mentioned earlier. The third thing you need to do to burn fat is to lift heavy in the gym. When you build more muscle, your metabolism increases. So somebody who's got a lot of muscle mass burns more calories and more fat than somebody who's got less muscle mass. This is why strength training is very important if you want to lose a lot of fat. Fat and muscle do not coexist. The more muscle you have, the less fat you have. And the best way to build a lot of muscle quickly is by lifting heavy in the gym. It's by challenging yourself in the gym, by challenging yourself strength-wise. A lot of people think that the best way to build muscle is by lifting light weight and doing higher reps, but that's very far from the truth. The best way to build muscle is by lifting as heavy as you can. Your reps don't necessarily have to be too high. You don't have to go up to 15 plus reps. The 6 to 10 rep range is usually the best rep range to be in when you're trying to build muscle. Because when you're in that rep range, you're most likely lifting weights that is heavy enough to stimulate your muscle growth. So when you go and train in the gym, lift as heavy as you can. Push yourself in the gym. Your weight training session shouldn't be a walk in the park. It shouldn't be easy. It's supposed to be difficult. When I go to the gym, I make sure that I push myself in every exercise that I do. And this is how I've managed to build a substantial amount of muscle mass. And what I would advise is that you focus on compound exercises when you train in the gym. Compound exercises are very beneficial for building muscle because when you do compound exercises, your body trains multiple muscle groups at the same time. So it's going to stimulate more muscle growth and help you build more muscle. It's also going to burn more calories because you're engaging multiple muscle groups at the same time. This is literally the cheat code to lose a lot of fat without doing any cardio. Another thing I would advise is that you do supersets as well. When you're doing supersets, you go from one exercise straight into another exercise. So for instance, you go straight from bench press to bicep curls, or you go from shoulder presses to lat pull downs. This method of training is going to keep your heart rate up and you're going to be engaging a lot of muscles at the same time. So you're building muscle and you're burning fat at the same time. So focus on compound exercises, your squats, bench, deadlifts, pull-ups, lift as heavy as you can in the gym and do supersets. If you train this way, you're going to build a lot of muscle, which will increase your metabolism, which will indirectly make you to burn a lot of fat. You're also going to be burning a lot of fat during your training session because of the intensity of your workout. The fourth thing you need to do is you need to increase your water intake. What this does is it stops you from eating a lot because it reduces your appetite and it also helps you to get rid of a lot of bloating and water weight. Most of the time when we think that we're hungry, we're really just thirsty. So if you feel like you're hungry and you just drink some water, you're most likely not going to go ahead and eat some food. So what I do personally is whenever I get a hungry feeling, what I do is I just go and drink some water. And if I still feel hungry after I drank some water, then I go ahead and eat. But if I drink some water and the hunger feeling goes away, then I know I'm not hungry. Most people overconsume food because they don't drink enough water. So if you want to regulate your hunger feeling and eat less food, I would advise that you increase your water intake. Another thing I recommend is that you start to drink sparkling water as well. Sparkling water is very good for controlling your hunger feeling because sparkling water is quite heavier than normal water. It's quite heavier than still water. So if you drink a lot of sparkling water, you're gonna feel hungry a lot less. I do intermittent fasting every day. I don't eat until about 1 o'clock each day. And what I do to keep myself from feeling hungry until 1 p.m. is that I drink sparkling water. I drink water in general. If I don't have sparkling water, I still drink still water. But I make sure that I'm drinking a lot of water throughout my fasting period. And that helps me to stay active and do the things that I need to do whilst I'm fasting without feeling too hungry. Another thing water does, as I mentioned earlier, is it gets rid of bloating. So when you don't drink enough water, your body holds on to water weight. This is what makes you look puffy, makes your belly look puffy, makes your face look puffy. So what you can do to get rid of this look is to drink enough water. Sometimes you may think that your body fat is high, but really you're just bloated. And if you drink enough water, you're gonna look substantially leaner than you would if you don't drink enough water. Every male should drink at least 4 liters of water each day, and every female should drink at least 3 liters of water each day. If you stick to consuming this amount of water every day, it's gonna keep you from looking bloated and puffy. It's also gonna keep your appetite at bay because you're gonna feel hungry a lot less. What I would advise and what I do is that you put electrolytes in your water. This will help keep your body properly hydrated because sometimes drinking water alone is not enough to keep you properly hydrated. So you wanna add some electrolytes into your water. You can buy electrolytes in your grocery stores, you can buy in your pharmacies, wherever you can get them. Just make sure that you get some electrolytes and you put them in your water. If you're gonna drink a lot of water throughout the day, you can get them in tablet form or you can get them in powdered form. This will replenish your body with a lot of potassium and all the electrolytes that you need to properly stay hydrated, most especially if you have a high protein diet. You will need to replenish your body with electrolytes if you have a high protein diet, because having a high protein diet makes your body to get rid of a lot of sodium. Another way you can combat this is by adding a lot of salt into your food, but I don't recommend that because it just doesn't taste good. Eating salty food is just not the vibe. So what the advice that you do is you put electrolytes in your water and you drink as much water as you can throughout the day. That way you will stay properly hydrated throughout the day. And lastly, you need to prioritize sleep. You want to get at least 7 hours of sleep every night. Sleep is very crucial for burning fat because your body produces the hormones that it needs to burn fat whilst you're sleeping. Sleep is literally fuel for your body. So the same way your car cannot function if you don't give it enough fuel, that's the same way your body cannot function if you don't get enough sleep. Your body produces testosterone when you sleep, which makes you burn fat. Your body produces growth hormones when you sleep, which makes you build muscle, which would indirectly make you burn fat. Your body also burns the most amount of fat whilst you're sleeping. You don't burn a lot of fat when you're awake. The magic happens when you're sleeping, so you have to sleep enough. Personally, I plan for my sleep. I don't eat food at least 3 hours before my bedtime because when you're sleeping and your body is digesting food, you're not gonna get the best quality of sleep. I don't drink any water at least 2 hours before my bedtime because I don't want to wake up in the middle of the night to go and pee. I don't want my sleep to be interrupted because I have to pee. I also put away my phones and my laptops and turn off my TV at least an hour before my bedtime because the blue light rays that come from your TV screen and your phone screen and your laptop screen and all these devices have a similar effect to your brain as sunlight. So these lights keep your brain awake. It wakes you up. So when you expose your eyes to blue light rays just before your bedtime, your body is gonna be awake. It's not gonna have the best quality of sleep. So make sure you do everything you can to get enough sleep at night. What I would advise is that you go to bed at the same time every night. That way your body is put in a schedule so you don't have to force yourself to sleep when you need to sleep. If you sleep the same time every night, when it's time to sleep, your body is gonna automatically shut down and get ready for sleep. And then you wake up at the same time every day. Even on the weekend, you do the same thing. This way you get in a routine of having quality and good sleep. So these are 5 ways that you can lose fat very quickly without doing any cardio. Don't forget to like the video if you got some value from this video. Share the video to anyone that needs this advice. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Feel free to ask me for advice in the comment section. I'm always available to give advice. Subscribe to get updates on the channel. Watch one of these videos for more fitness advice, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.